John chapter 14, verse 15 to 21, the New King James Version, it says, if you love me, keep my commandments, and I will pray the Father, and he will give you another helper, that he may abide with you forever. The Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it neither sees him nor knows him. But you know him, for he dwells with you and will be in you. I will not leave you orphans. I will not leave you orphans. I will come to you. A little while longer, and the world will see me no more. But you will see me. Because I live, you will live also. At that day you will know that I am in my Father, and you in me, and I in you. He who has my commandments and keeps them, it is he who loves me. And he who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I will love him and manifest myself to him. He said, I will not leave you orphans. We live in an orphan planet. The day Adam decided to obey another master, he became fatherless. And the one that deceived him became a tax master. And ever since, we have been running, hiding under fig leaves. In fact, the first invention of man was a needle to sew fig leaves. And no wonder when Jesus cursed the fig tree, because it had leaves but no fruit. They didn't say, why did you curse the tree? Because figs is talking about the place of hiding. And he said, no, you will come out of hiding. You will come out of shame. You will come out of disgrace. And he enacted the garment of righteousness when he killed a lamb. And that day he wrapped man. Man was wrapped in blood. And said, that's my redemption. For the lamb was slain before the foundations of the world. He loves me hopelessly. He loves me extravagantly. It reminds me of a woman, a pastor's wife, was trying to tell one person in the church every time it's always a financial problem. But he will believe God for something, and God will even give her the money. And she went to God in prayer and said, we are trying to teach this woman something, and you are still giving her money. Financial responsibility. And he said, she heard God's voice. I'm trying to teach you how to receive. I know you're financially disciplined. But are you disciplined because you are afraid of poverty? Or you are disciplined because God has so much blessed you with it that you just want to keep aside so that you can bless the world? Not because that your security is in your investment or your savings. You see, the kingdom is a very fragile thing. And for me to stay in the kingdom, I must be in him. And he in him, in me. So that I know which principle to use at every point in time. Today I want to talk about dealing with the orphan spirit. He said, I will not leave you as orphans, I will come. The orphan spirit is a very terrible spirit. It can put you on the road of performing. And you know what? The word clap for achievers. They clap for performance. In fact, we want the people who are achievers to be our friend. We even compare our children to them. And sometimes we become discouraged, even with ourselves. And we are not able to count our blessings. Because our blessing, as compared to others, is not blessing at all. You must understand that one of the tragedies in history is the emergence of the orphan spirit. Trying to get for yourself what God has given to you. Did God really say? And he said, and she reached forth her hand and grabbed the food to get for herself what God has given to her. He said, you will become like God. She was already God. And her eyes were open to good and evil. God never wanted our eyes to be open to good and evil. God wanted us to live in the realm of the spirit. Constantly. That's the only way we can name all the animals. Because we are constantly connected to the World Wide Web. And we have downloads that eyes have never seen. Orphan comes from the Greek word orphanos, which means one who has been deprived of parental care. It means to be reared without love, affirmation, or sense of identity. Did you have a father that told you you are good? Did you have a father that gave you identity and said you are my son and you don't have to earn it? You know, sometimes we tell our children, when you do your chores, you give them money. If you are a good boy, I will buy you a gift. It may be good, but at the end of the day, he said, until I'm good, God cannot give me anything. Until I perform, God cannot give me anything. That's the orphan spirit at work. Pastor Derek has 2 little boys and also a baby. I'm not sure the baby begged him this morning for Pampers. And I'm not sure that he went to the baby and said, if you can be good and stop crying unnecessarily, I'll give you Pampers. I'll give you money. The baby does nothing for him. I want you to wake up, cry, eat, play, and sleep. And he's happy. It's a tragedy as a believer, child of God, wandering through life, not knowing who he or she is, or who he or her father is. Do you know your daddy? When man was created and formed, he was put in a garden to tend the garden. He didn't find the garden. He didn't plant the garden. He was told to tend it. When man decided to obey another master, he started tilling the ground. And as he started tilling the ground, thorns and thistles started coming out. Now choose the one you want, to tend the garden or to till the ground. I can tell you, tomorrow some of you start tilling again. He said, Pastor, do you want us to be lazy? No. There are 2 extremes, absence and excess. But we need to stay in the ground of being sons. Where absence is laziness, excess is an orphan. 2 of them are orphans. Excess is performing and performing and performing. And you can even tell people, I sleep only 2 hours a day and I'm still strong. Well done. We all must accept the fact that our Heavenly Father doesn't like long distance relationship. How many of us have long distance relationship with God? Do you know that many of us think prayer is so I'm praying. No doubt there are seasons you will go and stay and pray. But you can't stay all the time like that. Because the Bible says pray without. I'm not sure you can do that. With that way you define prayer. Prayer is a conscious effort. The pictorial view of prayer, according to the Hebrew, is the forehead, the back head, and the head of an ox going into a yoke. That's what prayer. In other words, my thoughts are fed constantly about him. That's prayer. Everywhere I am, I'm constantly thinking about him. my thought is filled about him. When you ask me a question, I have no opinion of my own. I will connect quickly and get answers. Then I'll deliver the answers to you. That means that my Wi-Fi is constantly on. That's prayer. The first face man and woman saw when they became living souls was the face of God. In Genesis chapter 2, it said God formed man out of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostril the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Is either I took him up or he came face to face. But when I look at the prayer in Numbers 6:24-26, it said the Lord bless and keep you. In other words, it said the Lord bara. In other words, the Lord kneels before you. So when man opened his eyes, the first person he saw was the face of God, which talks about the presence of God. And it says it's not good for man to be alone, and he took one rib from his side, which means a man and a woman must stand side by side, but there's an authority figure. An authority figure is not being dominating the other. It's just being there so that everything in that family can thrive. Close the side. Formed the real word for that word is fashioned the woman. Man was formed, woman was fashioned. And when the woman opened her eyes, the first face she saw was the face of God, because God now brought her to the man. Who's bringing your wife? So the most important thing you need in your marriage is the presence of God. Because if the woman is seeing the face of God constantly, and you are seeking the face of God and seeing the face of God, there won't be two voices in the home. There will be one voice. The problem is that we are no longer seeking his face. The orphan spirit comes to man, twist your sonship identity and turn you into a spiritual introvert. That you don't really know who you are. You are trying to perform so that you can gain relevance. And so when you get to a place you are not recognized, there's a problem. When they give you a title that is not your title, you won't stand up. No, I am a reverend, not a pastor. Say doctor. When my father was a teacher, there were no graduates then. And so when his students, as they were welcoming him that time for that reception, they say, when you call him B.A. Akhigbe, you must put Hans. It's B.A. Hans. He read history and philosophy. You must respect his degree. Do you know, based on that, people can go to war. You can leave that party if they don't recognize you, because your worth is in what you have or what you have achieved. And when you don't achieve, there's no secondary school union until you have achieved something. Are you a spiritual introvert? Say, I don't like crowd. I know you don't like crowd, but why? Is it because they mocked? Something happened, you sang and nobody clapped? Every time I get to tell my children that the way this home runs is not the way outside runs. So they say, oh, they broke my heart, they are giving me inner healing issues. What would an orphan do to you? You must learn to care for your soul and refresh yourself by his presence. David said, my mother and my father forsook me, but God took care of me. Every earthly father is imperfect. Every earthly mother is imperfect. We need to be refathered. Even your father needs fathering. Your mother needs a father. Imagine orphan raising orphans. The question I need to ask, do we have churches or orphanages? Do God recognize our church? Or does God recognize our church? Are we a church full of babies but very few fathers and mothers? Where there's infighting, jealousy, malice, backbiting, and all the rest. Are you happy when somebody gets a breakthrough that you are looking for? Our son and daughter got married. Are you happy for them? Or I'm happy for them, but why is it not me? And thank you for your giving and your support for them. God bless you. Thank you. Do you know that orphans can't ask for help? So I will not ask for help. Everybody will not thinking that that my government has fallen. I won't ask. Even if I'm eating, let me die. Have you seen that? Huh? That's a coded orphan. Very coded. Because you can't ask for help when you need help. Why? The time you asked for help, nobody helped you. And you thought that it's your power and your strength. And you know the funniest thing, you are a good performer. But can't you see it's draining life from you? You can't be yourself anymore. Quickly, I want to share with you what the Orphan Spirit can do for you. There are more. In our school, Atlam School of Supernatural Reformation and Transformation, we extensively deal with the Orphan Spirit. The Bible says, for the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end. In other words, in the world, it's a pyramid where you climb and you become CEO. And there must be only one CEO. For you to become a CEO, either you kill that CEO or you split out of that place. Is that not true? But in this kingdom, it's an inverted pyramid. Starts with father and mother. Riding on the shoulder of father and mother, there's no end. But the only person that can run that organization, that family, are sons and daughters. The orphans don't want that. The orphans want rules and regulation. But we are only regulated by his voice and his command. He said, what's the greatest command? The greatest command is to love God and to love your neighbor as yourself. Without the great command, without the command to love coming first, the Great Commission can never be achieved. The Great Commandment must precede the Great Commission. If the Great Commission precedes the Great Commandment, then we have institutions. I know when Jesus was going, he said, you know what? God can handle himself. Love each other as I have loved you. How did God love us? Can you die for me? We know John 3:16, but do we know 1 John 3:16? John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. 1 John 3:16, no greater love than this, than for a man to lay down his life Can I lay down my life even for my wife? Can I lay down my life for my children? Oh, can I lay down my life for you? In Liberia, when you are going out and the police wants you to give them small thing, they'll say, "Boss man, die small for me." My brother, can you die small for me? Can I die small for you? You see, the orphan spirit does not look out for anybody. Look out for himself. That's why people can use their mother for ritual. That's why you see people in the same church duping one another. And when the person gets angry, say, "But we are family now." My brother, is that how to do family? Then when another orphan gets angry and go to police station, I say, "Look at them." You see, the first thing that the orphan spirit will do is that it results in rejection and insecurity in the child of God. Rejection. Do you feel rejected by men? Do you feel rejected? Maybe you are not able to achieve what you needed to achieve, and people laughed at you, and that has created rejection in you, that you don't even like your body, you don't like yourself. You know, sometimes in this our culture, we insult people and we call it comedy. Say Fati Bobo. And all of us will like, and you have laughed, but the laughter is ringing in the person's head. This is 20 years after. So the person does not like herself. She has gone under the knife to remove fat from her stomach. She has reduced herself. She's no longer eating well because she has to be. She now has eating disorders. Rejection. The Bible says in John chapter 3 verse 18 in the Amplified, it says, "Whoever believes and has decided to trust in him as personal Savior and Lord is not judged. For this one, there is no judgment, no rejection and condemnation. There is therefore now no condemnation to them who are in Christ Jesus. But the one who does not believe and has decided to reject him as personal Savior and Lord is judged already. That one has been convicted and sentenced because he has not believed and trusted in the name of the Lord, or the name of the one and only begotten Son of God, the one who is truly unique, the only one of his kind, the one who alone can save him." I want you to declare with me, say, "I'm accepted. I'm accepted in the beloved." An orphan is always insecure. After the Second World War, they had children in the orphanage home and discovered that at night they could not sleep. Why? Because the child believes that tomorrow there will not be food. So why sleep today? So to make them sleep, they gave them bread in their hand. As long as they had bread in their hand, there's security for tomorrow. So all the children were sleeping fine. Is there no insecurity in your heart now about the situation in Nigeria? No fuel, no light, heat at home. Oh, you didn't get it? And even if you have money to buy fuel, 200 per liter. Huh? If you are here, you talk to God about the fuel situation, that you don't have money, God provide. Raise up your hand. My brother, I'm talking to all fans. So you don't have a father. How many of you worried? Say the way life they go so. Niger don't finish. And as Niger don't finish, me I don't finish. You're insecure. You say, say I don't buy 3 liters, say I don't buy 2 jerry can. It will soon be finished. It will still finish. And you say, ever since this first scarcity, you and your wife does not have peace again. Please, as you put on the gen, put it off after 1 hour. 50 minutes you are calling. Is the gen still on? Please, I beg you. I beg you, put it off. Put it off. That's why the woman have to lie. Your children want to sleep, but she wants to watch your own video. What is causing her? Fear. Fear not to be called a useless man.